Hey, what's up guys? Today I'll be doing a review on the Move It Swift Smart Boxing Gloves. So stay tuned. Okay guys, today I'm doing a close-up weigh-in and review on the Move It Swift Smart Boxing Gloves with integrated punch trackers. Now, there's been several punch trackers that have came out in the past, like the Everlast Peak, the Hikso punch trackers, the Corner punch trackers, and those are all unique in the fact that you actually put the trackers into your hand wraps and then you download the app on your phone and then you start training, and it basically tracks the kind of punches you're throwing, how hard you're throwing your punches, how many you're throwing, as well as calories and other measurables. So the big difference with these is that the actual punch trackers are integrated into the gloves themselves right here on the wrist. Now there's definitely some pros, and I find there's actually more cons than there is pros with this style of a punch tracking system. It also has its own proprietary app that you can download onto your phone, whether it's Android or iPhone. You download the app and then it's on your screen, and then from there you can have it on Bluetooth, and then from there the punch trackers will sense that app on your phone and then connect. But before I show you guys how that all works, I'll show you what's included. Obviously you have the actual Move It Swift boxing gloves in 16 ounces. I actually believe they make these in 12 and 14 as well, so you have a couple of different sizes to choose from. It is a synthetic glove that is made in China. It does come with a carrying case as well as the instruction manual in several languages. You have it Move It Swift Smart Boxing Gloves Guide, and it shows you everything that it comes with. So it comes with the two gloves, the motion modules, which plugs into the actual gloves themselves. So the motion modules have a female port. So what basically you do here is you plug them in. So it slides into place, and then it just has a micro USB opening. And then from there, once you charge it, it does come with a charging dongle that has a USB right here, and then two separate identical ends that actually plugs into the actual sensors themselves. So you can charge them, and then once you're done charging them, you can plug them into the gloves, and you'll see that it starts to blink to show you that, hey, I'm ready to go once it's all charged. So you have that. It shows you just kind of the basics, the user's guide like you see here, how to charge them. Excuse me, right there. Inserting the motion modules, getting the app. And another cool feature with these gloves is that it actually has lighting effects, which I'm not a huge fan of. Most people, probably be 50-50. Some people won't mind it. Some people will probably hate it, but completely up to you. Shows you slow pacing effect. It's kind of a red color. Yellow is medium pacing, like average 5 count punch rate is between 11 to 19 kilometers an hour. Fast pacing effect. And then it shows you the color of the motion module to tell you what it means. And there's several different colors and what they do. Honestly, I didn't care for the lighting effects because I wasn't paying attention to it. So when I was using these gloves training with them, the last thing I was doing was looking at the gloves. I wasn't even paying attention to that. I was more focused obviously on training, hitting my bag, and then also the app itself. So once you have the app, you can pick between different programs. You could just throw jabs for a minute and a half, lead hook, lead uppercut. So those are kind of like follow along pre-programmed exercises you can do. They also have all these other ones you can do as well. Core combos, John's favorites. I mean, there's all kinds of different exercises you can follow along with, which is nice in the fact that, you have something to kind of hold you accountable in that regard. So if you want to do it that way, you can do it, or you can do what I do, which is freestyle mode. So in freestyle mode, I'm just going to bring this up here. From here, you shake the module on the glove. So what happens after you charge these is they go into sleep mode. So they won't just indefinitely stay on and drain the battery. What you end up doing is you shake the glove itself, or you kind of like tap the glove, and you'll notice that these will start to light up, and it'll indicate that this module is now active, and then it'll actually show it connect onto the screen. So from here you can choose how many rounds you want to go. 5, if I can pick it, 6, 7, anywhere between 1 minute and 30 seconds to 2 minutes and 30 seconds, which why it doesn't have 3 minutes is kind of weird, but whatever. Oh, actually, you know what? I think the rest time adds on to the end. So you could pick the rest time. You could do shadow boxing, or it says boxing bag on this one. So I would pick boxing bag. And then I would go to start. And then from here, it shows connecting. And what you want to do in order for it to connect is basically start shaking this thing a little bit. If you hit it, this thing should light up. There it goes. So it's going to start lighting up. And now it shows that that one connected. That's going to be the left glove. I'll show you guys there. I'm going to show you the right glove, excuse me. I'm going to show you the left glove. Wake it up, and there it is. So it's lit up. So
3, 2, 1, go!
And there you have it. So the round will start. You can see both gloves are powered up. You'll have these on your hand. And then as you start to punch, it should detect it. Now it's only going to detect the really hard punches when you land it. And you can see there that nothing is registering as I slapped it with my hand. But once you start hitting it on the bag, you'll notice that it'll detect the punches. And I'll kind of go into detail here in the review. But that's essentially how you get everything started with this. I'm going to go ahead and exit out of the app. And then at the end, it'll show you kind of the synopsis of that round that you did. And then you can kind of track where you're at, how many rounds you've gone, how many punches you're throwing per round, and so forth. So I'm going to go ahead and close these up and give you guys more of a detailed review of the gloves themselves. So now you can see how these gloves light up. So again, I mean, it's kind of a unique thing. I've never seen this in boxing gloves before. It is kind of cool. I feel like it has more of a fitness boxing glove kind of vibe to it rather than a traditional classical boxing glove. But it is what it is. So it uses a synthetic outside casing. It says "Move It" on the back of the glove. You also have the "Move It" logo with a little clear hexagons on there where the light comes through. One thing these gloves remind me of, they remind me of the synthetic entry-level Everlast Elite Pro Style gloves. So they kind of remind me of those in terms of the shape of the glove and the size. You have a nylon attached on there. The back of the wrist has about 1 inch of padding, a firm density. The inside of the wrist, maybe 1/8 of an inch of padding. It does have a half Velcro strap with the elastic piece right here. Again, just like the Everlast. Ventilated palm, which with the mesh right there, I'm not really a huge fan of. A pretty nice large grip bar and more mesh towards the finger compartment. The synthetic on here is definitely more of the thinner style. Without the smart punch tracker technology built into this, to me, this is like a $20 glove, if that, quality wise. So let's go ahead and put these on the scale together with the punch trackers attached to them, because you're going to be using those. And the right glove is at 15 ounces. So it's about 1 ounce underweight, and the left glove is at 15.3. So they're about the same weight as each other and about 1 ounce underweight. So let's go ahead and do the review. Hey, what's up guys? Carlo here, and today I'm doing a review on the Move It Swift Smart Boxing Gloves with punch tracking technology. These gloves retail for $99. Comes with a pair of gloves as well as a pair of trackers that integrates into the wrist of the glove itself. Comes with a charging cable, carrying case, as well as instruction manual, which has all of the details on how to pair this with your smartphone, how to download the app to your smartphone or to your tablet, and that way you can utilize these gloves to their maximum effect. Now the gloves themselves are made in China. They use a synthetic outside casing. I would compare these to like a starter entry-level glove like the Everlast Elite Pro Style Boxing Glove, which is to me like a sub $30 glove, and to me that's basically what these gloves are, except the fact that you have the punch trackers that actually plug into the gloves themselves. If we were to take these punch trackers away, the gloves themselves are decent, I'd say decent entry-level gloves, but definitely not durable and will break up over time, which I think is kind of the big Achilles heel of this punch tracker system, in the fact that unlike other punch trackers out there like the Everlast Peak, the corner trackers, Hikso, those trackers you actually integrate into your hand wraps, and then you can use them in any gloves you want to use, which is great for versatility because then you can use it in any gloves. With this, you have to actually use it because it actually plugs in to this little mounting piece right here. So you're stuck with these pair of gloves. So once these gloves start to wear out and go bad, then you're kind of screwed, because now the trackers are integrated to that and you can't use them on any other pair of gloves unless you buy another pair of the Move It Swift gloves. So to me, that's the big Achilles heel of these gloves, the biggest drawback of that. Now I know their idea behind it and what they're trying to do to kind of be more innovative, to integrate it into the glove. But it's only, the technology of this tracker is only as good as the glove that it comes with. So to me, I feel that if they were to come out with a much more higher end, premium quality leather glove that has all the excellent features of some of the higher end gloves you see out there that are gonna last a very long time, and then you were to integrate the punch trackers into that, then to me that would be a much better and attractive pairing, rather than just throwing it onto these cheap entry-level Everlast style gloves. Now the gloves themselves, to show you guys, it does use a multi-layer foam padding that has kind of more of a firm density to it. Design wise, you can see it says Move It on the back of the glove written down. It looks pretty simple to me. I mean, it's just kind of a basic font. The gloves kind of give me more of that aerobic fitness boxing glove kind of vibe. You also have, which looks kind of like that hexagon style like the Everlast has, you have the Move It logo. When this area right here actually lights up when you pair it and start to use it, which kind of indicates by color, you know, how fast you're punching and how much you're throwing. The back of the wrist has about an inch of firm wrist support. The inside of the wrist is about 1/8 of an inch right there. You can't use these for sparring, obviously, because it has this big plastic bracket that holds the sensor in there, and you can definitely damage that as well as your sparring partner. It has the Velcro closure. That's a half Velcro that goes right over that and kind of overlaps. I'm not really a fan of the location of this, just because it kind of protrudes and kind of jams into this elastic piece. You also have the ventilated mesh palm. You want to be careful with having Velcro, because that will actually grab onto this mesh, and if you pull on it, it'll fray it. Pretty large grip bar right there, and a nylon strap attached thumb. Quality of the gloves are decent. I mean, again, you can see these are Chinese-made entry-level gloves. The material itself is definitely on the thinner side. And the more I sweat and get these gloves kind of dirty and stuff, eventually this material is going to start to wear out and crack. And the biggest issue here is just kind of the thin feel of this mesh palm, which is going to end up ripping as well because of how thin and just cheap that feels. The inside liner is a polyester nylon liner right there. Has a little bit of bunching up, and you can feel that inside the fingertip compartment. So quality of these gloves are average at best. The biggest issue with these gloves is the longevity and how long they last because of how they're built. Putting my hand into the glove, you can actually see I started shaking it, so it's coming alive. So what you're seeing here is these gloves are in sleep mode. So basically, or these trackers are in sleep mode, should I say. When you're not using them, the good thing is that they'll go to sleep by themselves, and you don't have to worry about the battery draining on these. So, but when you start moving the gloves, it senses the movement, and it actually turns the gloves on. And if you have the app on, then it will connect via Bluetooth. So you can see, you know, you have that unique kind of lighting technology in there, and it went back to sleep again. You can see that. But I'm gonna slide my hand in here, put the Velcro strap on. The wrist support on here is okay. It's not the greatest. I do like the fact that you have that nice amount of padding on the back, but it's kind of lacking in this area, especially in the midsection of the glove. You do have a nice deep finger compartment, so I will give them that. A little bit too much excess liner material on the inside, but I definitely like the deep finger compartment, and they actually added a piece of neoprene in there, so you can really get a nice grip. So I definitely like that. The hand compartment doesn't feel too wide. or too narrow. And for a 16-ounce glove, sizing-wise, I think these are a perfect size. Especially if you do have bigger hands, longer fingers, I think this will accommodate your hand pretty nicely. I have medium-sized hands, and with hand wraps on, these fit pretty nice. The thumb actually feels pretty good. It's a little bit more on the broken in, looser side, so I didn't feel like this piping right here pinched down, and it does have a nice parallel thumb that doesn't jam at the top. So overall, their gloves are actually really comfortable, so I'll give them that. The protection and the performance of the glove, I would say that these are more of a protective style glove. These are definitely more for bag work. The other issue with the punch trackers is that you're not going to get a very accurate reading if you're using this like on a double end bag. Something that when you hit it and you make contact, you don't get the same level of pressure applied to the actual gloves themselves to send vibrations into this tracker through this padding. So the issue with that is you're not going to get the accurate reading compared to if you were to hit a heavy bag or like this aqua bag, which I'm going to show you guys here in a second, to when you land a really hard shot, it'll sense that. So we'll kind of go through that here in a second, but I'd say that these are definitely more on the protective shock absorbing side. So if you were not even going to use these gloves with the trackers, you were just going to use these as your basic boxing gloves. It doesn't give you the feedback and the pop that you want, but you definitely get more of a shock absorbing type of feel with these gloves. So I'm going to go ahead and put these on. I'm going to activate this on the app, which I'll show you guys here on the screen. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fire up the app on my phone, just to show you guys. And I'm going to activate this real quick. Give me a second here, guys. Showing you guys all this in real time. So I just activated the app right there. Here's the Move It Swift app. I'm going to go ahead and go into freestyle mode. From there, I'm just going to go with the default with the boxing bag starting, and now they're going to start to try to connect. I'm going to go ahead and put this down on the side. I'm going to put these gloves on, and I'm going to go ahead and activate it. So the left glove is activated. And let me see if I can get this right glove up and running. So what you could do is you put these gloves on, and if you start kind of doing that with the gloves, you'll notice that the gloves will start to light, and you get that.
2, 1, go!
So now the round has started. You can see the gloves are activated, and I'll start to hit the bag. That's a jab. Right cross. Left hook. Right hook. Uppercut. Or should I say rear uppercut. Lead uppercut. It's not the best bag for uppercuts, obviously, because of the shape of it, but I'm just trying to see and show you guys how accurate it is on catching the kind of punch I'm throwing. The little taps that you do typically don't register. So you can see as I'm tapping it, it's probably not going to come on the screen. But the better, more solid punches, you know, you can throw combinations. I notice if you go a little too fast, it might not pick up all the punches. So there you have it. That kind of gives you guys an overview. And as you can see, as I was throwing, in the manual, you'll see it comes with a color guide, which basically tells you what the meaning of each color of this is. So that's kind of the premise behind this color flashing. What it does for you, honestly, really doesn't do anything. I get it maybe if you have like a coach and you're training and the coach can visually see you know, the colors changing on there. They can say, okay, maybe you're throwing a little too slowly, maybe throw more, but they don't need these colors to tell them that. They can actually see you throwing your punches, and if they see that you're being lazy, then they'll just tell you, hey, pick it up. They don't really need this indicator light. So I get the novelty of it. I just don't think it makes any sense. So anyhow, you know, and then the little robot lady on the app will talk to you, say awesome, great job, kind of like motivation. So yeah, that's it with these Move It tracking app, punch app, should I say, for these gloves. I think, you know, if you're using them, I'm going to go ahead and turn this off real quick. And finish that. I think if you're using these purely for fitness, and you're not actually doing any kind of, I wouldn't say competitive, but I just don't think the app itself, when you're using it and you're punching the bag, is accurate in terms of the kind of punches you're throwing, the volume that you're throwing at, and the force that you're throwing behind the punches. I mean, it kind of gets you in that general ballpark to get an idea of what you're throwing. But the other issue too is that you have all this extra, lighting, and I just don't think it's necessary. I mean, I think it looks cool, but I don't think it really does anything in terms of performance of the glove. It's almost like I wish they would take the money they use invested into this whole lighting system and just to make a better boxing glove, and maybe make the connection for the punch trackers more seamless into the glove, and not like right underneath this piece of Velcro where it kind of sticks up a little bit, and you can see how it kind of protrudes. And this Velcro is not going to last forever, so that's kind of the big issue there, is maybe somehow integrating it. I mean, you're not going to be using these gloves for any kind of sparring, so you might as well put it in an area where it's safer and it's a little bit more seamless into the glove rather than just kind of putting it right in here. So that's kind of my issue with that. And I think the biggest issue, other than the accuracy of the app and kind of keeping track, is the fact that you're stuck with these gloves. You can only use it in this glove because of how it plugs into this. So again, once these gloves go bad, then you're kind of screwed because you have to use these gloves with these punch trackers. I think that's a huge disadvantage compared to companies like Everlast that make the Peak, the corner tracking devices, which you can use with any of, just put them in your hand wraps. And to me, the accuracy of those other apps is about the same as this one, as far as being able to tell the trajectory of where you're throwing your punches from, whether it's a jab, a cross, a hook, an uppercut, and which arm it's coming from, obviously. So that's the biggest drawback to me with these gloves. The app itself is actually pretty solid. I wish that you had more options in terms of length of round, rest times, but I do like the fact that you can choose from like a preset training regimen to go through. So like they might have you do 3 rounds of like 1-2s, and you can follow along, and then you can benchmark that, which is nice. And you also can do freestyle, which I just did, where you just go at your own pace and throw combinations, and it tracks that. So the app is nice. The fact that the Bluetooth connects really easily is good as well. I'll give them credit for that. The connectivity is really good. I didn't have any issues with the gloves, finding the app and connecting. I've had that a couple times with the corner tracking app, punch trackers, where I had to like reshake it or plug it in and unplug it and shake it again to make sure that the app would recognize it and then get everything connected. But with these, that was really seamless. So I think they just need to get a better quality glove, refine the technology a little bit better, and I think they would definitely have a better system for a tracking glove like this one compared to like the tracking devices that you put in your hand wrap. So if you guys have any questions or comments, as usual, put them down below in the comments box. I'll put the link in the description box where you can find these Move It Swift smart boxing gloves. I'll see you guys later.